Let's talk about emergency response. It's on you. You have to figure it out. You have to put an emergency plan in place. As long as you're in Ghana, you need an emergency plan because nobody is going to come and help you. So you need to be close to a hospital. If you have health problems, I just tell you now, don't come. Um, if you handicapped, don't come. Um, they do not care about handicapped people. There's nothing in place for handicapped people. There's no sidewalks that's going to help you with your wheelchair ramps. No, no, no. You very seldomly even see handicap signs at the grocery store. So that's dead. Um,
Okay, so that is not true, but I'm gonna say that um, it wasn't something that was consciously there. During a lot of the planning for a lot of establishments, right? Um, Recently, when people are building their stores or banks or whatever, they are starting to put all of those things in place. Mind you, when you go to a lot of these, third world countries and whatnot, it's the same. Then people move differently. The thinking is different over there. In America, um, they make room for a lot of these things because it's planned, by someone before everything is put into place. Whereby when you go to Africa, it's individuals building their own things. It's usually just one person building, whatever it is that they built, whether it's a store or whatever the case may be. So it's um, that's why it's like that. It's not like the person or the country is purposely trying to go against handicapped people or something like that. Um, but it just wasn't planned in that way. So therefore, it wasn't in people's thinking when they're building these stores and whatnot for you to access. But the newer stores and stuff, they're making ramps where you can just go up those ramps and whatnot. So when she says it like they don't care about you or something like that, that's not true. That's not true. It's just the way things were planned. Um, that was not put in the planet. Um, so yeah.
So as far as going to the hospital, before you can even get treated, you have to pay. You have to pay a consultation. Sometimes a consultation be like $40. Okay, so you pay a consultation, and then they see you, and then they prescribe you your medicine. 9 times out of 10, they're gonna give you medicine you don't need. I had went to the hospital, and I went there 6 times, and still no help. And the doctor prescribed me the last day when I said this is it. He prescribed me. I went for my hip. I went for hip.
Um, they do give the medicines over here are different, and I think that also the they're trying to copy the West. Now she's saying they'll sell you a lot of medicine you don't need. I'm in America. And it's exactly the same way over here. Americans are like the biggest drug pushers ever. They got a medicine for everything, right? The food is bad to begin with, so it's always causing you to be sick. Um, Only if you were able to afford, completely organic stuff. And even the organic, you got to be careful because there are regulations in place that determines what is called organic. All right, so to get something that's truly organic over here costs a lot of money, and a lot of people, excuse me, don't have the luxury of spending money on those kind of things. So therefore, they're eating a lot of stuff that is making them not healthy. And then when you go, the solution is you go see a doctor because they tell you your cholesterol is high. They'll give you a medicine for that. Oh, I got anxiety. They'll give you a medicine for that. Depression. medicine for that. There's a medicine for everything, that you want here in America. And so they push a lot of drugs on you as well. So if she says it like that, I don't think that's fair to Ghana. But you gotta know what you're going for. I would say always do your research before you go out there, so that before you go and you have a clue on what it is that they should be giving you, and ask questions. Don't just accept everything that they give you, because the person at the store, they could have just been instructed to try to sell as much as possible. Although they're giving you medicine that may be helpful to you, sometimes it's an overkill. Or if they sense that you're coming from America, or that you look like you can afford much more expensive medicine, they will always push that, over a simple tablet that will cure your headache, which the average Ghanaian would buy, for maybe 5 cities. They will give you one that's like, 60 cities fancier from Europe, right? A lot of our medicine comes from Europe. So they will push the much more expensive stuff based on your look. If you look like you can afford more, and I think that's not even fair, because sometimes they push it on the locals as well, too, and people that may not look well off, but they oftentimes know what they want already, so they just go and say, "I want this medicine," and pay for it, and then go. In America, we used to, let me know what I can have. I have this problem, and when you present it like that, they will put a lot of things on the table. So take the time, read, and if one bottle seems like it will solve your problem, take that compared to the four that they're trying to give you to solve the same single problem. Okay, all right.
So I told him, just give me a cortisone shot and the pain should go away. He said, no, I can't give you a cortisone shot because I don't know if the veins are connected to your legs. The veins from your hip are connected to your legs. So if I don't get a sonogram, which is more money, then or ultrasound, then I can't see it. So I might be giving you cortisone shots for nothing. And I'm like, look, I don't need you to tell me. Just do what I'm telling you to do. But he didn't want to do that. So after he seen me, he told me to go get my medication. So you pay for the medication first before you see the medication. So
Yes.
then once you see the medication, you're like, what is this? It's crazy. So he
So yeah, it sounds like she probably doesn't have insurance here in Ghana, which is fine. Is the cheapest way to go. I guess you're not paying anyone for anything until you need it. You need the services, um, and so yeah, because people would, if you give them the medicine and tell them to go pay later, people would just walk away with the medicine. So they always make you pay first before they give you, the medicine. You pay consultation. You pay the fee first before you go and see the doctor. Um, there's really no security standing over there making sure, or there's, you don't have insurance. Where in America, they will take your insurance first, check to see whether you know it or not. They check to see if you have money in your account, or if it's going to cover whatever services you're looking for before they allow you to go through. So when they take that information, they're plugging it in. That's what is happening. All right. So you may not know that. You're just thinking you're just presenting a card. They put it, save it in the system, and that's the end of it. No, they check things to make sure you can afford the services, before they push it on you. I mean, if you've been to a dental clinic, you know that they always know how much money you have, and that's why they offer you services. Oh, come back next week for tooth extraction, or come back next week for tooth cleaning, whatever. They will take all the money you have, make sure that by the end of the year you've spent everything that you have, and everything they can get from you before the year is over, and then it renews again. All right. So in Ghana, similar process but done differently, because you may not have insurance. So they want to make sure that you're paying for what the services you're coming for before you get the service, or else I guarantee you a lot of people are going to be taking the services and running out the hospital without paying for it. All right.
won't get any bedside care. The bedside care is non-existent. Even to the point when Let's say you going to the dentist and you just get in something like your teeth clean. They will clean your teeth like run it all through there. You like so hold on. You scared as hell because they putting the little needle all over the place and they're sticking in you in the gums and stuff. You like calm down and they like no.
All right. So while the ad is going on, yeah, you will get bedside care. It's just things work differently out here. A lot of these people they go through these services. Um, let's say like the nurses and
They
whatnot,
keep
right?
doing it and you
They'll take care of you, but when you take care of them, they'll take care of you even better, right? Here in America, it's like think of it as the services. Let's say you're going to give birth, right? There's a basic room and there's the premium room, right? So depending on what your insurance is paying for, you might be able to ask for a room that you're by yourself. During recovery, you don't share rooms with anyone, or you could be sharing a room with someone if your insurance doesn't cover a lot more than that, right? So there's levels, but in Ghana, it's basically the money. Obviously, maybe you're not using insurance, but the money is going towards the person that's caring for you, right? So, let's say nurses are getting paid, 1,500 CDs a month, and they're overworked because there's a lot of sick people, whatever, coming around, and the system does not have enough resources for everyone. So they're being pulled left and right to care for people. And it be hot too sometimes, so the attitude is not always, sweet like in the American system where they have AC and chilling all the time and enough people to care for. They probably overworked also, but Africa is different. Africa is another tier or a couple tiers up, as far as stress. Um, so these nurses, when you take care of them, when they see that you're showing interest in them and caring for them as well, they tend to show more interest to you. But to think you go in there and get a high level customer service, I would say she's probably right. Yeah, you're not gonna get that from the beginning. Um, it's something that you probably everything is like relationship based here. When you build a rapport and good relationship with people, they tend to take good care of you and look out for you. But if you really don't know people or don't put in the effort to know people or build that kind of relationship, then you feel left out in a way. As if like no one really cares for you. There are some genuine people that will take care of you and be the one to show that good service right from the beginning, and then you respond with your good services, and it builds the relationship from there. But there are some people too that may come off in their feelings to begin with, and if you're not quick to change that, so that it will be to your benefit as much as to theirs, then it just goes from bad to worse. Because their bad attitude, you meet them with your bad attitude, and it just gets worse from there. So you kind of have to be sharp in how you maneuver a system. Yeah.
oh my gosh. So they don't have sensitivity. They're not, oh, let me help you. You're my client. You're my patient. No, no, not at all. So when you get your teeth fixed or you get your body done or whatever, like for me, I had a hole in my back and I wanted to get it stitched up. So I went to the doctor to get it stitched up. He numbed it first. Doing the stitching, he was so like wow with it. It's like anyhow that I still felt it, even though it was numb. I still felt it because the bedside care is non-existent. They don't care for real, and you are.
Yeah. So again, that's her experience. So I can't say much to that. You know. Um, you can. I'm sure you can experience that here in America as well. You go some places they're not friendly. Some places are friendly. I've gone to many places where it's like service is like you know They take forever to bring you, take care of you, and they don't really care. But it all comes from most of the time with people that are underpaid. They have a bad attitude all the time to begin with. And some people just have a bad attitude all overall. So you will encounter that, but to say that they don't care, put a blanket on the whole Ghana, that's where I gotta say, I don't agree with that. So again, it comes down to relationship. You go to a doctor that you build a good relationship with, hospital that you've built a good relationship with the nurses and whatnot. Trust me, a nurse would even come to your house to take care of you, to bring you medicine from the hospital, just because you have a good relationship. A doctor will come to your house to take care of you because you have a good relationship, right? Whether it's monetary, you helping them with money here or tipping them good over here, so they'll go out of their way to even come to your house to help you out because you tip them good, right? Um, and so there are ways around that. I mean, one thing I always say is Ghana is one of those places where you get to feel like a rich person in America, with a little bit of resources, right? For example, a doctor coming to your house to take care of you, and it's not a service they provide, but because the last time you were there, you tipped them, 200 cities or 300 cities, they'll pick up your phone call like 11 p.m. when they're not even on call or at the hospital to give you advice on a stomach ache that you have, what you should do to resolve the problem. So um, it's up to you to really take advantage of the system and use it to your benefit, right? There's pros and cons to it, and depending on how you move, or how you see it, to her, she's complaining and whatnot. To me, I see, okay, there's room for improvement over here. Everywhere you go, you can really have like a, super service, a very good experience, depending on how you relate to the people over there. All right. Wherever in America, you probably not even have the chance. You have to be on the very high, rich people level to experience those kind of services that you would experience with much less money in Ghana. Right? Okay.
American, they definitely don't care about you. I don't care what nobody say. Every African think they better than American, hands down. You better clock that too. Clock it. Talking about who you looking at, who you think you talking to. Yes, they all.
She knows she's smiling because that is false. That is really really bad. I mean, look at her face. She's smiling through this whole thing. Like, really, sister? Like, some people take your information seriously, so you have to be truthful in how you present the information because there is always gonna be, and I know there's always gonna be people that it's like the crab effect. You see some people going up or doing something better, and they want to pull you down. So in this case, she's seeing a lot of people wanting to go to Ghana or whatever, and she's putting this information out there. She may be just clowning over here, but there are people that are going to hold on to that and live their whole life saying Africans hate African Americans. So you have to be careful with your words and what kind of information you push out there because you don't know who's listening to you and how that is going to affect that person and who they relate with. Um, so yeah, that is false. That is false. I think that respect goes around. There are certain nuances that you have to deal with, based on stereotypes, and that is there. That is a fact. So that I can agree with. But to say that Africans think they're better than African Americans, come on, really?
Think they better than you.
So why are
I
you
hear
in
them
Ghana?
talking. I hear them talking. They talking to me. I'm one of them. They talking to me. They like, girl, let me tell you about Americans. So I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie, Craig. I'm not gonna lie. So at the end of the day, they don't like you for real. So they're not gonna really have care for you like that. All you are a dollar sign to them. You just a dollar sign. Uh, you have to worry about the.
That is false. Africans do care about African Americans. It's just we've been separated for so long, and there has been a lot of narrative to really separate us. For African Americans, is to separate you from Africa, so that you don't know, your roots, or get to know um, people that are like you, right? They want to get you stuck in a certain space by yourself, so that you feel like, oh, this is it. But there is more to life. There's more to African Americans than just being African Americans. There are more people, there are more countries in Africa that you can experience. You see people that look just like you. The mentality will not be like you, because they've lived in different worlds compared to you, the American, right? So don't expect their mentality to match up to yours, and they won't expect yours to match up to theirs. So that's where you have people that will be schemish, because they know you don't know how to move around their area, so they will try to take advantage of you. But all the same, it's the same in America. You come to America, you're gonna find Americans that will take advantage of you, scam you, because you don't know the tricks that they have, or the schemes that they have going on there. So everyone falls victim to those tricks, depending on where you go. All right, so you just gotta be sharp and increase your discernment of what is going on. Let your no be no, and your yes be yes. All right.
Stealing. A lot of people steal, and it might be something small that you might not notice. It might be your lamp, it might be your glasses, it might be a perfume or something. But kleptomaniacs, I'm telling you, all over the place. So when I say you can't trust nobody, you can't trust the gate man, because he gonna set you up and have somebody rob your house, and they will rob you blind. Everything will be gone when you wake up in the morning, except for your body. Then you got to worry about the kids.
I don't even know what to say. That is false. All right. There is some truth to it. There's some truth to it, because there's a lot of petty theft that go on. Here's the reason you see a lot of walls around people's homes, right? There are certain areas that you will not experience that, because they have certain customs in place that people are scared of. That if they go around stealing, something bad will happen to them. Um, but yeah, in a lot, especially when you go to the city, there's a lot of petty theft going on, and so there's the reason you see a lot of people putting walls around their home, because there are constant people walking past your home or wherever you are. And so when they see things like all your kids' bicycles sitting around in the yard without a wall, when there's nobody around, more than likely they'll take it, because the person may be poor and see it as a chance for them to give a bicycle to their child, or to go and sell it and get some money to feed themselves or their family. So a lot of petty thefts go on. It's not like America, where they would just bust in your house with a gun and try to rob you or something like that. It does happen in Ghana, but it's not common at all to experience people breaking into your home to rob you blind. Usually they might take some clothes off a drying line if you don't have a wall around your house, or if you don't have some a security electrical fence that will shock them if they try to hop over your fence. And so it's like petty stuff, things that they can quickly just grab and run away with to try to make a quick buck. That's what the thing, that issue is about. Okay.
Because she's next to you. She knows everything you need and everything you want. She's stealing your man. She might steal your fan. She might steal your key. I don't know, but she gonna steal something. Then if you giving her money to go to the store for you, she's not bringing your change back. If she bring your change back, she gonna do it a couple times till she get you comfortable, and then she'll start not giving you your change. You'll notice that she just ease up not giving you your change, and then she.
All right. So and I have to keep stopping this so that I don't get dinged or get my video taken down. But you know, when it comes to security guards and people that work for you and stuff like that, you have to set a standard right from the get go. Before you hire them, you let them know where you stand. Even if you take a pin of mine without asking me or me giving you permission to take it, it's gonna be a problem. All right, you have to set the barrier, and if they break it, they have to see the consequence right there and then. All right. So you have to draw the line early. Um, you know, and it depends on how you relate to people too. You know, your discernment. If you feel like the person is the type of person that is able to steal more from you or steal from you, get rid of them. Hire somebody else. You know, they don't allow it to get so far and then, say that Ghanaians are bad people. If you notice something early on, address it, draw the line. If you have a house help that goes out and does not bring the change, address it. Stop them right then and there. Take it out of their paycheck. Something, you know, so that they know that you're paying attention. All right. If you're not paying attention, then people, like just like anywhere else in America, wherever, people steal. If they realize that there's a loophole for them to steal, they will steal. All right. And especially here where you're probably not paying a lot of money for your house help or security guard. When they get that opportunity to take something that's going to bring them extra income, they will take it if they feel like they'll get away with it. All right. So you have to be smart in how you deal with it. Don't put things anywhere. All right. Lock your doors where there's important stuff. Put cameras where you need to put cameras. And when you see them do something wrong, address it right then away. With sternness. I mean, I'm not saying go and beat up, people that work for you, but just be sharp and address issues right when it happens. All right.
Give you some receipts, and the receipts don't even add up to what you gave to her. Watch it. Your assistant might help you. Yeah, they might work with you, but they not even gonna know half the shit you need anyway. They just gonna play along to get along. Okay. Then you got your man. You might have a man, and I ain't throwing no shade at mine because I got a good man. Okay. Yes, my baby is good, but that one in a million. To find a good man is hard. A good man is
Really?
so hard to find, and I mean anywhere you go.
If it was 1 in a million, I guess she's a millionaire because you found 1 in a million. Come on, sis. Really? And I quite remember you came with an African American. What happened to that dude? Anyway, let me not start. Um, but yeah, there's a lot of good men in Africa. There's a lot of good men in Ghana. Again, you have to set the barrier. You depending on you and who you're looking for. I'll always say if you're in the club scene, you're gonna find a club guy, right? If you're in the strip club scene, you're gonna find a strip club guy. If you're in the church scene, you're gonna find a church guy. All right. So when it depends on where you put yourself, right? That's the type of people you're going to surround yourself with. So you have to again, what you're looking for is where you should be. Be in places where you find what it is that you're really looking for. If you're hanging out in the ghettos, you're gonna find a ghetto guy, right? If you're hanging out in business establishment with people that are business minded and are really doing well, you're gonna find someone that is doing well and is business minded. All right, so it's all on you, sister, to find who you want to find. I mean, there are obviously, poor people that are not thieves. There are poor people that are business minded but don't have the funds. So all I'm gonna say is there's good people all around Ghana, but you have to use your discernment. All right, if you feel like this person is in just for the money, then you dump that person and on to the next one. All right, but be sharp.
You could be in America, you could be in Turkey. Anywhere you go, it's gonna be hard to find. But when we talking about Ghana here, we talking about most of the guys are the same. Most of them have the same lingo, the same swag, the same way of life, the same way they learn in the same way. If you notice, everybody say, "What's up, Charlie?" Everybody says the same thing. Africa is big, but yeah, Africa is small. So different countries.
If you go to America and you say, "Hey yo," everyone knows what "Hey yo" means. It's a call sign, right? In Ghana, they say "Chale." Chale is a call sign that everybody is aware of also. And so, just putting everyone in a big blanket, again, that's why I said you can't just take everything she's saying and run with it, because if you're really serious about coming to Ghana, information like this, you have to know how to dissect it and know when somebody's over exaggerating and being extra, and when someone is really serious about what it is that they're talking about. So just use your discernment, be sharp, and dissect the information as you receive it. Okay. All right.